Welcome to Occultists Anonymous, episode 56. We are sponsored.
The one where Songbird dies.
Yep, that's just what I was going to say.
Yep. Go ahead, start thinking up your titles now, guys. Occultists Anonymous, our show is brought to you by Roll20.
Sponsored by
Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for binging our show. Subscribing on Twitch and on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. And special shout out to our patrons who support us on Patreon, the StayLucky.club. I know, it's so great.
I love that so much.
And thank you guys for supporting us monetarily. Lets us do cool stuff. Buy character art. Like, I've never played in a game before where we got character art. I know other people. I've played stuff and like people have like, oh yeah, I went and commissioned art. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I'll sketch a little Doman figure and like that's what he looks like, or I'll find a picture off the internet and yeah, that's him. But we have custom commissioned art because of you guys. And specifically, shout outs to Alexander, Brandon, Claire, Danny, Giovanni, James, Josh, Catfeathers, Michael, Noba, Perry, Puppeteer, Brian, Samuel, Schmitty, Senna, and Thomas. Thank you guys so much for your support. Just as an FYI for everybody, we are just past halfway to basically getting another person to help me edit videos so that maybe we can stay on this YouTube schedule. And that way we have them coming out a little bit faster. And if those are happening, then maybe I can do other dumb stuff like maybe stream some hanging out like GM prep kind of stuff. I'll have to figure a way to ban these three from sneaking in or anything like that. But I
would never.
No. Yeah. So yes, thank you to our patrons for that. Oh, poor pupper. But yeah, thank you guys for all that support. I think basically we're
Let's
just
go ahead and start rolling up my new character.
Yeah, we're going to just jump back into this. So as a reminder for those of you at home who hopefully have been caught up, but maybe you forgot what happened last weekend. It's been a rough day at work. And where are we doing? What are we doing? The Cabal has gone down into an Atlantean ruin. Or at least what they think is an Atlantean ruin. It's totally an Atlantean ruin. We're not going to play that game. With Logan, their werewolf buddy firefighter from New York, and they're exploring around with purple black torches that cast shadows backwards, Incan stonework that is super durable beyond anything normal steel or normal even like modern science could make. The
note here says there's a ton of ape iron.
Yes. Epiron. But that's that one intelligence on Songbird. They smashed some skeletons, and we're like, wow, this place is kind of weird. And then they opened the door. Ding. It was kind of cold, and they got, that was after they summoned a ghost. Got inside and found a bunch of jars filled with all sorts of weird ephemeral stuff like spirits and ghosts and Goetia and souls. Human souls, at least within the Occultists Anonymous universe, those are the only things that have souls. And they're like, oh, this is really kind of weird. Then they open the next door. There's a forge with a spigot of lava running. They're like, this is really weird.
This is cool.
Also,
that was the only part I liked.
Yeah. And then they open the next door, and it's a library full of books with no words on them, and stone tablets and sci-fi futuristic glass tablet things, and they're very confused and upset because they're mages and there's no information here, and so they open the next door. Yeah.
I was upset.
Yeah. The Mysterium member was definitely upset. Then they opened the next door and found themselves staring in the face of Supay, the Incan god of death. Had a little chit chat. They didn't get along, and made their way to the hull of the judge, where they found a sad, emaciated, fairly, I guess we could say tortured, being who with a crown of stone.
Forced to cling to life.
Yep. And to make, to be the judge over something they didn't quite ask. Instead, Songbird kind of got fed up and said, actually, what's it called? Name of the spell? Celestial Fire?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and fried our good friend Supay, the god of death. I mean,
not my friend.
I was chatting with the judge. I was trying to help him out.
Yeah, trying to figure out what was going on. But
Songbird does have this and zapped him,
and has the hasty vice. So we pick up after Wyrd scramble to cast. What's the spell?
The hourglass.
Yeah, tipping the hourglass.
Yeah, tipping the hourglass.
Yeah, to slow Supay down, but Supay still has an initiative after that of 11, so he's able to do something before our friend Logan has a chance, and then Songbird comes in after. And I just realized I screwed up the rules. I technically should have rolled initiative and then had Songbird go, but whatever. And so Supay is going to look as he's got these singe marks on this black Epiron body above, or below rather, the majestic helm that he's got, and he's going to do some stuff. As soon as I get over.
Is he casting a spell?
Not exactly, but sort of. It's actually very odd for you to see. Let's see here.
Is he aware of who zapped him?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Songbird was not being subtle about it at all.
No.
He netted that one, please.
Yep. 6 dice. Cool. Yeah, so for those of you who still have Mage Sight on, this seems kind of similar to what the Skellingtons had done in that first room. The part that you realize that is vastly different is where the other ones made the lead floor that you were standing on very soft, that you were sinking into rather quickly. The lead beneath Songbird turns to gas. And there is a pit about 10 feet deep. And Songbird, you drop. I'm going to probably say I'll let you roll athletics to try and kind of reach out and kind of slow your descent. But currently you're looking at 5 bashing damage from the fall. And then
for 10 feet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you are falling. It's only bashing.
10 feet? I can jump 10 feet.
Before armor. But
I can jump 10 feet.
Yeah, mostly I didn't bother to go look and see. I think it might actually be a couple bashing damage, but I've just said it's 5.
You just said, fuck the rules, I'm going to hurt Songbird. Got it.
Yeah. A little bit.
What they're saying is
so Dex and Athletics.
Aberon manipulated by spells?
Nope.
Okay.
Not
it's just a thing he can do because...
Yeah, and yeah, no, lead has no problem being manipulated. I will remind Perry that it's Ciderite that he's thinking of. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, we'll give it to you, Songbird. You fall and you're in a 10-foot pit. Something's at the door. I too have barky dogs. They usually are better than this, but yeah, you land down in this pit, and the lead, which has turned to gas, it is still heavy, and it is clinging to you, and because it is this dust, and you're in, this, very dusty, effectively column of stuff. It's hard to look up. Some of it is starting to settle.
If it's heavy, wouldn't it just sink?
Yeah, no, that's the next step. It is accumulating on you, so you've kind of fallen through this.
Okay, so I'm drowning in lead gas.
Yes. Yeah, because originally it was gas, but it is now solidified into a dust and is now falling.
Okay, so it's just for a second. Okay.
Right, it's literally the 3 seconds, yeah. So he flashes his hand out to do that, and then turns to the other 3 of you, including Logan, so Wyrd, Atratus, and Logan, and says, I don't kill any intruder. And that is the end of his turn. Logan, who has his axe, and he's like, battle buddy, and can hear some sounds. I'm sure there is some grumbling, cursing something from Songbird, falling down into a 10-foot pit. And Logan is looking and is trying to read the faces on Wyrd and Atratus, and I'm trying to figure out what he is seeing. Is it that face, Greg?
I'm just like, okay, let's chill. Can we?
So Logan is like going to just spend his turn in combat, I guess, to kind of move and kind of subtly stand like in front of Atratus and Wyrd and kind of be like, okay, if you're coming at them, he's gonna put himself in the way, and he's going to just kind of. Actually, I think yes, you can prepare an action, so we're going to say that. And because we did initiative, Wyrd. Hey, Songbird, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm going to cast Lodestone.
Okay.
And compel my
Lead
body
to push off of you.
To not be
Dig it. I'll let
so
you.
I'm not technically casting it on the Aperon, right?
Even Aperon, you can cast stuff on Aperon just fine.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can't on Saturday.
Yeah, Ciderate is the one that I think has the
Is immune to spells.
or it's resistant to it or something like that.
durability is
Yeah, Aperon is
Whatever.
actually quite accepting of changes to
that makes sense.
plasticity.
Being the Moros metal and stuff.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm just gonna pull my tool out real fast.
Sure.
Just a single tool. Yeah. So 5 dice. 2 successes.
Cool. So yeah, and so you have this kind of dome of like space. If you remember correctly, Lodestone isn't enough to like completely shut stuff away from you, but
Right.
you can just have it pass around you.
Make it like flow away from you. So
I kind of view this like because we haven't touched much on because Songbird hasn't done much matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I view it as like almost like the Imago is like a armor piece being like strapped onto him to protect him from this
I dig it.
substance, to shield him from the substance sort
Cool.
of thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of piling, and you don't have the pressure of it on you. It's just pressed
Right.
against the shield.
And then I'm going to just like chunk the dagger into the wall
Mhm.
of this pit and start climbing out.
Because it's an action. Actually, it's an instant action to cast a spell. And then you use it as yeah.
I'm just flavoring like a move or whatever you want to call it. To like begin it. And I'm not saying I'm probably climbing out right now in 3 seconds, but just that's what I'm starting. So
Yep.
I can either roll now or roll like next turn.
Yeah, I
That's
think
fine.
we'll roll next turn. The judge, who was, cowering in the corner and seeing you guys kind of settling, and, Supay is in a defensive posture, and, Logan is being defensive. He's feeling a little bit of the tension coming down a little bit, at least the immediate threat of violence. And he kind of picks up where he was saying, he's like, Supay doesn't kill anyone, and he comes back. I've tried.
okay, so can't get rid of him. Cool.
Well, maybe Logan can.
But yeah, that's his turn. Atratus.
Okay, I'm not going to attack anyone. We've brought the tensions down a bit. Wait, what were you doing? I was chatting with the judge, trying to figure out like why and how he was here.
Mhm. Yeah, or I think specifically you had asked why you couldn't leave. Supay wouldn't let him, and then also mentioned Supay was like, yeah, it's not my job to feed this guy. It's not my job to get a new shift in here. And I think that's the thing that set Songbird off. Was the like I don't care kind of attitude.
Okay, so I don't know that I have anything that can help this guy.
And in the immediate moment, is everybody good stepping down out of initiative and being like, okay, like we've thrown some punches, but we're going to step it down now. I'll just drop us out of initiative, or do we think it's still going to be necessary?
Songbird's still going to try to fight.
We'll see. I think we're fine out of initiative, though.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, let's tone it down.
We can be fine out of initiative as long as I can prepare an action.
I mean, yeah, you can always like ready something, because technically when you cast a spell, like you can cast it and then hold it in your hand to unleash it. We were talking about that for throwing spells.
Sure.
But
puppy,
the doggy is quite talkative
vocal
today.
Just talking to me.
But yeah, the judge will actually kind of get up out of his corner, and he's walking with a hunch. His joints are quite obvious and protruding. He's immensely starved. His voice is that dry, raspy, hasn't had any water, and kind of moves over towards you all. Eyes are squinting because you guys have those torches, which I'm going to say Songbird probably dropped his, and he kind of
it's at the bottom of the pit. It probably went out.
Okay, he kind of looks forward and says, and actually like kind of gingerly reaches out and like just kind of touches Logan, and Logan is creeped out by this guy, but doesn't see him as a threat because itty bitty little person wearing a stone circlet versus big beefy werewolf, he's not going to flinch, but watches the guy like touch him, and the judge kind of recoils. It's like, you really are real and alive.
Yeah.
Logan,
Yeah, Wyrd.
can you make this guy not come back?
Excuse me, what?
Is he a spirit?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Supay, like, there's no you've heard absolutely no emotion from this thing other than the one grin when he grabbed Atratus when she said that she was the one who let a ghost out of the bottle. But
to be judged.
Right. But he basically says, I am no mere spirit.
What are you?
A dick. And I like climb out of the pit.
Yeah. Dust kind of falling off. There's a pile of it that, sheer water displacement is piled around. But yeah, and he says, I am the leaden eye.
Look, we all made up fake names for ourselves too, dude. Like, drop the fucking act and just talk with us.
I told you my purpose.
This isn't an act, Songbird. This is...
No, it's
what he is.
What are you? Are you a construct made by someone and put here, or were you summoned here from somewhere else? Were you created here?
Yeah, I think what he says is my existence started here.
Okay.
So, like, I kind of clued into this last time. Whoever made this place, like, constructed a supernal being.
Yeah.
Or something that's very, very similar to one.
Similar.
Which is indistinguishable from our perspective.
How long has it been since the researchers here came?
Chat actually brings up everybody's speaking in high speech, so Logan actually has no idea what the judge and Supay are saying. But sorry, what was that, Atratus? With the researchers?
How long has it been since the researchers here were here? Are they here?
Oh yeah, Supay says, as far as I know, the mages are still in their domiciles.
They live here?
They have a home for themselves.
Can we see it?
That is a restricted area.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Who's allowed in the restricted area?
You have to be initiated.
Initiated.
Yep.
Look, I'm a big ass supernal being. How do you know three things? How do you know someone's been initiated?
You asked that before, and he had mentioned that he can see your souls. Mm-hmm. So clearly, being initiated leaves a mark on the soul.
Okay, I'm going to turn to the judge and ask him, how long has it been since you've seen anyone other than Supay?
No one, like ever. Like I've
ever.
He brings in people and kind of motions over to the neatly stacked bodies, and tells me to judge them for intruding, and I can't. I mean, I
assume they're all found guilty because they intruded.
Like I've never judged anyone, and yes, Supay kind of booms and says, "The judge has been lax in his duties."
Oh, so he's bringing them in, but you aren't judging them?
I mean, I don't know what I would. I mean, I can't. They're people. I can't. And I mean, what do I judge them for? And when I was first here, I didn't even understand him. And a reminder, because the judge is speaking in this very, very broken, high speech. For us, it would be like the caveman grunt, og, blah blah blah, kind of speech.
So I've got a theory that if Supay keeps coming back, then he's probably tied to this place somehow, like an anchor. Can I, because my mage side is still up, can I see any sort of tendrils hanging off of him going to something else?
Oh, like that. With your mage sight, no. There's a spell for that, though.
Right, so that was going to be my next step, see if there was anything particularly fate-bound about it, but if not, then I'll go for the spell.
Yep. That's it. While you're doing that, if everybody wants, go ahead and roll intelligence plus occult. And who here do you think has actually studied Atlantean ruins? Right. Atratus, maybe.
Maybe that's more of like, I've been hanging around the Mysterium for like 4 months now at this point.
Might have absorbed a little bit, maybe.
Maybe got a little bit of it.
Okay, take a +1.
5.
Okay.
2 successes on my 2 dice.
Good job, bud. 5 successes on Atratus's, and then Wyrd got 2 as well. Logan is not rolling because he doesn't know this shit at all. But I'm going to hijack your characters here for a moment, as you guys kind of like put your heads together and like compare notes about what the hell this place is and what Supay could be. And basically the thing that you guys talk about is, and I think this is probably the one thing that Songbird, brings up is like, all temples have these guardians. Like that's a known thing. They're known to have traps and stuff like that. They always have some kind of defense. We've seen the skeletons. Supay is probably part of that. And especially considering Atratus's obsession and knowledge and 5 successes, I'm going to give you that the Atlantean Temple Guardians are damn hard to kill flat out, because the corpus, the body of Supay, will, if if it is destroyed, the spiritual ephemeral part of it will recreate it. If the ephemeral side is completely destroyed, it will actually reappear at its corpus, even so long as there is a bit of it. And then
You have to destroy both parts simultaneously.
And utterly.
Totally.
Yeah. They are
Can I-
very resilient. Obviously, you can destroy it, shut it down, break it, and then go about your business. But
It's going to come back.
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Craig.
Can I use the ruins here as a yantra?
Would-
Or
I mean,
Supay himself?
Oh no.
Okay.
Though it wouldn't be actually. That would actually be a decent sympathy yantra. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be worth one, but yeah, because it is similar to him, part of him. Holy moly! What are we using all that reach on?
Instant cast, and I had something else. Instant cast, sensory range, and then the double reach one for interconnections.
Oh, great! I should go look at that spell. I mentioned it and then didn't go pull it up. And that was fate, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be time. Who are we kidding? Reveals the marks of fate. Allows it to detect any sympathetic connections between the subjects. Can also identify those who have violated magical oath. Cool. Oh, and this is just on you, so you actually don't need to use sensory range because this is because
It's okay.
Oh no, I apologize. It does have a composure on it. So yeah, you would actually have to up to one per turn. Blah blah blah. Presence. So what is the composure? I guess it would be individually each person that you're observing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still on you. And then it's got X amount of potency. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so I'll go advanced duration then with the extra reach that I don't need for the sensory.
And then what potency? Because it's actually a potency spell to begin with. Okay, sweet. So you've got 4 potency. Do you want to crank that up at all?
Am I going to need to? Yeah. I'll take 4. -4.
Okay, so bump it up to 6.
Yep.
Okay.
While this is happening, I walk over to the judge.
Okay.
And start casting a spell.
All right.
Yeah, can you help him?
So womp. Yeah, your eyes, and you can. What subject do you study first?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am studying Supay.
Right, and yeah, you immediately recognize the connection between this place and Supay. You know, these things are one and the same. This is to use a biological metaphor. You're like, yes, this is a lymph node in this body. This is the security. Without Supay, this whole thing falls apart. Without the whole thing, Supay is useless. Yeah, which also kind of goes back, last episode where you'd ask, hey, you could go protect stuff elsewhere, and he's like, what?
No.
Does not compute.
So the thing that we're seeing is basically just the human interface device for the temple.
The security, at least.
Yeah.
At least some part of it.
Okay.
Yep. And Songbird, what do we cast in there, buddy?
Would you kindly roll me 4 dice of paradox?
Oh boy. What are we what are we working on?
Knit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Heal him up.
All right. So
1
that.
success.
Yep, 1 total. So roll your wisdom. Because I'm sure you're containing it. You should have asked, but
4 successes.
Cool, no
Take
problem.
bashing.
So take 1 bashing wound.
Cool. 7 dice. 3 successes.
All right, and then the reach is to
and-
give like rest and food, I think. Can you do that on Nick?
Instant, advanced duration, food, and heal personal tilts.
Oh, like personal physical tilts?
Mm-hmm. So if he's got any sort of like dehydration tilts or whatever, broken things. Also, that is indefinite duration, and I'm putting a willpower dot into it.
Okay.
So I don't know that we'll be able to help this man get out, but he will at least not be suffering.
Right. Now, the one thing I'll give you, just because I don't know, I think Songbird would think this, I'm making sure that Chris says, you can decide to relinquish the spell later and relinquish it with the dot later.
Like,
Songbird
wait and see if
would
we
know
can
this.
get him out.
Right.
And then if we can't, you can tie it off and leave him here.
Correct.
This is what Songbird would do.
Sure. Go for it.
This guy's a prisoner. He would at least make sure that he can hopefully die in comfort at some point.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, immediately, no bonuses to potency, but it's already got 3 potency. Okay. So yeah, already he's starting to look better, especially the whole lack of deprivation. Did you give him?
He instantly gets food and sleep.
Yeah, food, sleep, personal tilts. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Or not sleep. He doesn't. It's not sleep. It's just food every.
Okay.
Like he ate a nice meal and had a drink of water every hour.
Okay. Cool. And Atratus is casting something.
It is Web of Life.
Okay.
At 1 reach for advanced scale, and then another step beyond that. So how big is that?
Oh, I gotcha. Large house?
It's like warehouse, yeah?
I'm pulling it up because
Thereabouts, yeah.
Scale, small warehouse.
Small warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I am overreaching by 1 to do that instantly.
All right. How do I keep doing it like that? Cool. Nothing.
Okay.
So, right, life. Oh, don't forget that will cost you a mana.
Okay.
Cool.
2
successes.
And you just do your little ping, right?
Yeah, the primary factor on that is duration. Is it still only 3 seconds?
You'll get free steps equal to your Arcana.
So it's 3 seconds.
So you've got just the 1 dot, so it's 3 seconds by default.
Okay.
And then you didn't do. Wait, did you do advanced duration?
No, I did instant advanced scale.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you just get your 3 second.
You get 1 turn worth of.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm doing it for anything.
Okay. Yeah. There is some bacteria on you guys and on the judge, and that's it.
Okay. So you said there were mages here.
Mm-hmm. Well,
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in their domiciles.
And the judge is alive and is an actual person?
Is actually alive, yes. Yeah, and
so I wanted to do that.
She had Death Mage sight on, so she can tell if they're alive or have souls and stuff like that. So
Is the judge a mage?
That would require a prime spell, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so there aren't any mages here nearby, unless this place is much, much bigger. Which is possible.
And space.
Did you see the entryway?
Stuff, yep.
Space magic, they could have teleported in and out of their
maneuver.
homes. Yeah. But within, how big is the warehouse? Very big?
Pretty big.
Hundreds of square feet. There's
Easily.
nothing here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys are watching, this guy. Well, actually, the healing is only once per hour.
Once per hour.
Yeah. So, yeah, but he already looks better. It's going to take him a little bit before he gets enough food.
I think I definitely tell him my sentiments as I'm grabbing his shoulder. It's look, I don't know that we'll be able to free you, but at the very least you won't be trapped at the brink of death like you appear to be.
Okay. I want you to roll your Gnosis plus Prime, please.
Okay. 5 successes.
So, as you're touching him, as you're laying the spell on him, and actually, do you have your mage sight on? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay. you, as you're touching him and you're messing with his pattern, right? You notice that his pattern has a very similar pattern to something you have studied previously. The Grimoire, Thrazon's Codex. There's something about this guy and his pattern that reminds you of Thrazon's Codex.
You are possibly preempting me here because my next task was going to be to look at the judge.
There you go.
Yeah, and he is. You can see. I think for you, it's probably it looks like chains. That are keeping him here. In terms of like fate and destiny. That are keeping him bound here. This is he thinks of this place as his home now. But some serious I almost said
Gross.
Shawshank. Stockholm syndrome.
Shawshank syndrome.
Shawshank syndrome.
That's where when you see it on TV, you've got to stop and sit and watch it for the rest of the afternoon.
But yeah, he's definitely connected to this place. And then there is this one thread that it's like a solid thread, as opposed to wispy things that, there are these barely there connections. There's this solid thread that just leaves off into the distance, and it doesn't have like a spatial existence for you, which is that was me screwing up way back on episode 1, where you're like, oh yeah, the thunderstorm goes down here. You don't deal with spatial. You just think of the connections. But yeah, it's connected off to something else, and for somebody as old as he is, unconnected from the world as he is, that's kind of weird. Ding.
Is that, and it just goes off in the distance?
Right, like I said, it goes off somewhere because the spell only
you don't see where it goes.
Right, and
you just see this there.
There's the fate spell allows you to know that there are connections, and you can see them between subjects, but without the subject being here to see the connection, you can't. As opposed to space magic, where you can actually say, "What is that connection?" and it'll tell you.
Right. That's down to peculiar.
Yeah, and then I'm going to pause, as basically, because we're having a couple of these realizations, but of course nobody said anything yet. But yeah, Songbird is having this realization. Wyrd is looking at this one little line going, where the fuck do you go? You're right, and so that's where we're at. But yeah, the judge looks to Songbird and, is already feeling better, thank you. His voice is a little less scratchy. He's still hunched. He's still, kind of, pulled into himself. But yeah, thank you. And also a reminder, just in case we have forgotten, because I realize you guys don't have a map. There were 2 doors back the way you guys had come. But
there's a big one that we didn't go through.
There are 2 big ones that have the
skeletons on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still like the giant sort of death god in the room.
Right, correct.
Yeah. Who doesn't want us exploring any further, yeah.
If we keep exploring, what are you going to do?
Eventually I will be forced to detain you. Already I am bending the rules, and you get another time that you're hearing emotion, and he does not like breaking these rules at all. Bending them is barely tenable.
What if we are trying to become initiated? Seeking the ones who can initiate us.
So he looks at you and he casts a spell. Mr. Mage Sight over there, you recognize Pierce Deception.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks at you and goes, and then tries again.
Zero successes twice.
So DM Fiat behind the thing. I fudged some dice, and he succeeds. Because let's not be ridiculous here. But yeah, he looked and says, "Say that again. Do you wish to be initiated?"
I want to find out more.
I don't think there's a way out of that.
I'm not lying.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, listen, her vice is literally curiosity. And kind of looks from her to Wyrd and then Songbird. What about you?
Could be her +1s.
Wyrd, do you say anything?
I want to be initiated.
Do you actually? Okay.
Do you really want to join the soul-stealing death cult?
I want to see where this goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, that's not what you said, though. You said you want to join the soul-stealing death cult. Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying. I want to be initiated.
That is the truth. Fair point.
Like, don't forget, Wyrd can get out of almost anything.
Right. That is a good line, and then kind of looks at Logan and says, "What about you?" Oh,
he's just
right.
for the ride.
And Logan is like, "It's looking at me, guys."
It's fine.
It's like,
you don't want to join a soul-stealing death cult, do you?
I mean, depending on how you define soul and death cult, I think I kind of am.
That's fair.
But no, probably not.
Not up to join a new one.
Right. And so Supay kind of looks and says, "Very well. You two will come with me. You two will stay with the judge."
Ugh.
Splitting the party.
And so Supay places his hands, and compared to when he had grabbed your shoulders previously, this is a lighter touch, and just kind of walks with you and break boundary again. And like his sheer size, he cannot go through the doorways that are, large for humans, but he's enormous. And just, you're into the security center. This is what I've got it called anyways. But that room that you'd seen all the scrying spells in, amusingly Wyrd, you had chased through here with Songbird. You'd seen the scrying spells. You came back through. They were all gone. And you're looking at like, hey, they're back. You're in the library. He walked in.
Hey, I spent mana on that. God damn it.
And he walks you to the double doors with the the skeletons on them, and says, "I will allow you to pass. I cannot scry through there. I cannot bring you out of there. But there are no exits beyond these."
Is this the mages' domiciles?
This leads to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And like as you're talking, you could hear the doors behind you just slowly swinging open, and you can see a jet black corridor. You can see like the Puron, and then it's the width of the hallway that you guys had fought skeletons in before, and then it's black. Like the corridor leads out into shadowy darkness. The torches only go so far, but to the sides, it's just empty blackness. It doesn't necessarily look like it's a void, like of empty space. It's just nothingness. And he ushers and says, "Very well. Go meet with the mages."
Okay.
So you two walk
The
along.
skeletons won't attack us now?
No.
Okay.
These are merely ornamental.
Really? Okay.
The other defenses have been
Broken?
delayed for now.
I'm not there.
We're provisionally allowed to pass.
He nods.
So, like, the second that they're gone,
Mm-hmm.
Songbird starts casting a spell,
Sure.
and I'm still, like, right there with the judge.
Mhm.
And I reach out and just, like, grab him by the shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and words of truth right in his fucking face.
Okay. Bear in mind, not wearing a shirt, he's barely got, like, tattered, like, loincloth.
Oh,
kind of
right.
stuff going on. But yeah.
All right, well, that's fine.
Yep.
I'll grab my throat then.
Sure. Go ahead.
So that's that spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll it, I guess.
Give me an idea of, you said words of truth, and
Yep.
what is our instant and...
The like inspired and guilty option.
Oh, if going along with what the mage says.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And you have to beat composure, and so you've got. Good lord, how much potency on that?
That'd be 7 potency.
Okay. Cool.
So what is that? 9 dice.
Oh, yeah, I should do math. 7. Yep, 9 dice.
Okay, so that's a shadow name, high speech, and using my knuckles, the orichalcum.
Oh, yeah.
So
Similar
just like
truth.
threatening to punch him in the face.
Yeah, basically. Which is 8 again, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a path tool. And that is a praxis.
Cool.
So that is a critical success.
Indeed. What do we take? Exceptional success.
Whatever. Exceptional.
Yeah, we
it's
know
an
what we're
exceptional
talking about.
crit. I am going to take. There's so many things I need right now, but
Threatening this poor man.
yeah, I'm gonna have it just go through every bit of
Withstand.
withstand.
Okay, cool.
So
Sit.
So basically, I just shout in his face, "I have helped you. We have come here for one thing, which you seem to be intimately connected to. You are going to tell me everything you know about what has been done to you and what this place is."
Cool. Yeah, so we'll use this actually
Well,
as
catch back up.
yep. But we'll specifically what we'll do is actually use this as social maneuvering to remove doors.
Yeah, it's 7 doors
Yeah.
shattered wide the fuck open.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was using it for.
Cool. So cutting back to Wyrd and Atratus, as you guys are, the doors swing open, you guys start walking forward, and the doors shut behind, and you have this long walk on 10-foot wide walkway. The light continues forward, and you can see more and more of it. The door behind you kind of disappears into darkness.
As we're walking, I kind of I should probably tell you that I'm out of mana.
I'm running pretty low myself.
And I'm freaking tired. My willpower is rock bottom.
It'll be great.
I love because this is the cops back to back. I got one more reload.
And all I got is I can throw my gun at them.
Yeah.
All right. Are there actually walls?
Do you reach
Or
out?
do we just see a black void on the side?
I mean, all you see is the black void. But do you reach
Okay,
out?
I want to pull out one of my bone coins
Oh, sure.
and throw it.
Okay. And it hits that solid blackness and just blink and
Bounces off.
blinks off and
Okay.
lands back on the thing.
All right.
Yep. But yeah, you walk. I mean, it's it's probably a few hesitant steps, and then it's like, okay, nothing weird is happening. Blink this.
Ding.
Okay, ding.
It's not
Other than some
literally a
walking.
void. It is
Right. I can't fall
a
off
solid
of this.
void. Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid shadow.
Yeah. Okay.
Which as the Moros you go, oh yeah, okay. And yeah, you walk forward, and there's another door with this giant pair of runes, very very simple, carved into.
Can we read them?
Yeah, well, they're very simple runes: death and matter.
Makes sense.
Right. And then as you kind of make your way to the door, that's it. There's no there's no skeletons or anything like that. And the previous doors, which had been these kind of like arched things, these are much more squared and neat. But yeah, they're there, and they have like nice, like smooth, like slightly worn spots where clearly hands have touched and stuff like that over years, decades, millennia, whatever, of like, to push them open.
Okay. I'm gonna go touch them.
Yeah, and they
And
swing open like
Okay.
like whisper soft, just like boom, and as they open, they're like, oh, these are big doors.
Do I have to see the judge to see his thread?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says it's things that you can see between subjects. So
Okay.
I think if the spell was ongoing, you might see something later and see
If
the
you
other
find
end
the
of the
other
connection.
part of the end of
Okay.
it, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you walk in and you are standing in. It looks like a garden almost. Is absolutely gorgeous. It actually, you know what? We're gonna, because Songbird reminded me of the inspired condition. I think we might take that here. I'm gonna double check. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you guys are inspired.
Okay.
So when your character takes an action pertaining to that inspiration, and I'll let you guys decide how you were inspired, because I think different characters in different paths, this may inspire you different ways. But anyways, you can resolve the condition when you take an action pertaining to that inspiration. An exceptional success only requires 3 successes instead of 5, and you gained a point of willpower. But it is a garden of metal and stone and twisted into like these shapes of flowers and trees, and and it's gold and silver, lunargent and orichalcum, and metals that especially Atratus, you've like, I have never seen I've never even heard of something that looks like this. And it's this just rich environment. And as you're walking through, you watch as like a little object kind of, flutters about in moving, and some kind of semblance of life. And as you're kind of walking through, you notice that kind of like a walking garden where everything is, put in places, you realize that you are standing in this large, it's probably 30 by 50, this place, and you are standing, the walkway makes a giant rune of mind that you are standing on. To your left, you can see, because you're coming in on the 30-foot side, along the 50-foot, you can see another set of double doors that are emblazoned with death and matter. Go ahead, Craig, because I keep trying to say something.
So, Lunargent, is there like a Lunargent flower?
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I would like to try and pick a Lunargent flower.
I don't think that's a great idea.
I'm
going to say that when I see you reaching for it, like, we should probably not steal from them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe
We're
on the way
coming
back.
We're coming back through here, though.
Yeah. Hit the gift shop on the way
Maybe when
out.
we're leaving, but until we're all set up in here, we don't know what triggers any of these spells might have, or...
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you guys are walking through, there is another set of double doors on the far side. After you've
Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, like that is hence the inspired. Now,
yeah,
and I'm like, but it's Lunargent though,
right?
I can make that for you.
Yeah, that's true.
She already did.
Yeah, literally, just give me a chunk of silver. You'll have all you want.
Your mirror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, on the other side is another set of double doors that also lead out. Also mixed throughout this garden are little benches. Like I said, this would be like somebody took some nice like Frenchman, chateau's garden, and then just made it all out of metal and stone and gems.
I want to look at the things flying. Are they
what was
butterflies
the
and
yeah,
birds?
you see multiple little hummingbirds, but not of any biology you've ever seen.
Are they clockwork?
They're made of moving, flowing metal. Like they're not clockwork.
Okay.
But
they could be like golems.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, golems come in all number of stuff, but normally they're like, a stone statue that moves. This has the fluidity of life to it. But yeah, you have hummingbirds and butterflies and, any number of small little, what you would expect to see in a garden. Notably, like they're moving about in this perfect fluidity, but as you watch, especially if you like stop and watch, you realize they're kind of like on a track. Like they're going, and so it is not freely moving, and stuff like that. And like if you put your hand in the way, it will smack right into it. Yeah. So that it is definitely I don't want to say mockery of life, but it is non-sentient. It is clockwork in that regard of that it is going through a cycle.
So I had a good look at Supay out there, and like he's not an entity in this place. He is this place, and this place is him. Like they're almost supernally identified with each other.
Okay.
This is like since my awakening, I have seen some weird stuff, but this takes the cake.
Wish this place wasn't in the middle of a death tomb because it's very pretty.
Death can be pretty too.
There's a whole bunch of mushrooms who go, yay! But yeah,
right. So death and matter, I think this is probably you to open, right?
Yeah, the door. See if you can open it, actually.
but what if it's a trap?
I'm going to screw it.
What if it's a trap?
Yeah. I'm going to, I don't know if I want to try and open a death and matter door, but I would scrutinize it.
Yeah, because I thought the first one...
Or the willpower for that?
The willpower?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I thought the first one would require spells. That it needed to be touched with like a death and a matter spell, but it just opened when I touched it. But maybe that's because I am aligned.
Because you guys have mentioned previously that you have Mage Sight on, the doors don't have any like active spells that you see on them. Whereas all of this whole garden is lit up.
Yeah. Do you want to try to open it? Or do you want me to?
And you have two doors to
comfortable with you doing that. Not because I'm thinking you're at risk, but I think you have the best chance of opening it.
Fine, so I guess we go left first.
Okay.
They're on either side of us, right?
Basically, as you walk in, you're on the narrow wall. There's a long wall that leads to the left, which, because you guys don't have a map, that actually points you back towards that testing chamber that had the orichalcum things dangling.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then the one ahead would lead to an unknown direction.
Okay, do you want to go ahead then?
Whichever door you're wanting to go. Oh yeah, this would be a good place for fate.
You have fate that can tell us which one is a good idea.
Yep. I'm just kind of throwing something together quick here.
Also, I see your Order of the Stick references, and I appreciate them. So, continue, guys. Reach for instant and
I thought maybe scale, but it doesn't matter. I've got actually 4 free reach.
I was going to say, you got plenty of reach for fate.
Yeah. So that's 8, 11.
Which spell are you casting, by the way?
What's that?
Which spell are you casting?
Let me look it up here. Sort of a take on shifting the odds, which is going to be the better path to follow.
Oh well, serendipity does.
Yeah, okay, so
literally
serendipity.
That, yeah.
Sure.
You receive a clear omen that suggests a course of action.
Mm-hmm. So that's 11.
Good lord, yeah. Oh, so close. 4 successes on 11 dice. But yeah. Well, what is your what is your stated objective?
I want to get an idea which would be more advantageous to achieving our goal quicker.
What is that?
Not
goal?
Necessarily safer. We want to recover the grimoire.
That tells you to go back the way you came.
Turn around and leave, yeah.
Well, crap. All right.
If our goal is to learn more about what's going on here and about the order behind the lead and eye.
Yeah.
You can recast it, same 11 dice.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. It's like, what if we do this? Oh, that's back that way.
Okay,
hey, there
so
you go.
now I'll take the exceptional success, and I'm going to take a mana.
Yeah. And you get, remember, exceptional successes on spells also give you willpower. Don't forget that.
And a willpower,
Yep.
so I have 1 willpower and 1 mana. Woohoo! I'm back in the game.
Not
You
completely.
can do and spell.
And that was the what was to learn more about is what you were saying? To learn more about the order?
Yeah, so no, which is the best way to learn more about the order?
Dead ahead.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So yeah, Atratus, as you push this open, you find there's no corridor or anything like that. It opens to a small it almost looks like a cafeteria almost. It's got a long table. It's got chairs. It is nice and is well appointed. But here's some of that anachronism stuff again. The chairs that you're looking at, there's like 2 or 3 that all look like they're comfortable, like, leather upholstered, comfy, like dining chairs that you would find in a nice home nowadays. And then there's some other that are like more heavy wooden block kind of, medieval style stuff. And then there's some curvy glass metal futuristic bullshit. All of which this would be super comfy to sit in. Some better than others because the medieval one looks a little rough, but and that's laid out, and there's this long stone table. And then to around that, and that is literally it. So I said cafeteria, I just mostly mean that table. And then there are these 8 doors that kind of make up. You get 3 along the side and then 2 at the end. Apparently this place is very rectangular. Just now realizing. And they each have what looks like a nameplate next to the door. Against each, they're all blank.
Even the mage site?
Yeah, they're just devoid. They remind me very much of the library.
The library, yeah. This is.
Yeah, hang on.
Time.
Maeve? Are you there, Maeve?
I'm hiding.
Can you find Songbird and just let him know we found the domicile, or is that a bad idea?
I think I can.
She's hiding from the ancient death god that traps spirits in this place.
Yeah, they shove spirits into jars
and notably, I've got to remember: does Maeve have an easy way to talk to people?
She has to manifest, right?
She's got manifest,
which is
it takes essence.
three of her 10 essence. And so yeah, that's a little rough. But let's see here. Implant mission and transform mask. Okay, she's like, okay, I'll see if I can get back there. And you just have the sense that she's moved away.
All right. Can we retcon a little and take advanced duration on that last serendipity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I had plenty of free reach. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah,
I can recast it easy if you want to.
Yep.
All right. So I'm looking for where the significant things are serendipity wise.
Right.
Like, it's all fairly dark. I'm going to imagine that there's like slightly lighter sections that would
you've got that purple light. Yeah. And just the door on the far end on the right side just seems to be reflecting that light back just a little bit brighter.
Okay. So yeah, I think we got to go that way and head towards that door.
Okay. It's got just a very normal door handle.
But nothing obvious in mage sight. No active spells.
Blank nameplates. I'm gonna knock.
Okay. You knock, and it has that very resounding, like the echo from the other side of a basically empty room. You can almost hear the knock echoing back through the door. It's a big wooden door, by the way. Like these, like very dark ebony, I guess, wooden doors.
No response.
Nope.
Okay. Try the handle.
It's unlocked.
Okay.
Inside, it's kind of disjointing because you have incandescent lights on the ceiling, and it's like, oh, after all this purple white light,
a little bit blinding.
Yeah, need a moment. And you have what looks like, again, some more of that anachronism. You have this like gorgeous silver steel, like sci-fi kind of like desk with like a modern chair, and then a large like 4-poster with a canopy like bed in a corner, and it looks like not a step beyond college dorm, but like a personal studio apartment kind of thing. There's no kitchen or anything like that, but like other than the furniture itself, it is devoid of anything save there is a small jeweler's loop, little sitting on the desk, made of gold, and it's just sitting there.
And I'm guessing the jeweler's loop is kind of twinkling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the loop.
Okay. Looking at it, does it have any spells on it?
It does not have any spells on it, but your death sight recognizes that it is part of a soul.
Soulstone.
Potentially.
That explains how they can get in and out.
Could. Oh yeah, especially, I'll give you this. The room is a domain for Stygia. For that even.
Trying to think of how bad an idea is it to try to hop inside someone's soul.
Oh, no, but it's not even a whole soul. It's a part of a soul.
It's a soulstone.
Yeah, a soulstone you can use to enter...
To get into someone's
soul.
soul.
Soulstone. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I remember when I hopped inside of someone's soul, and I was greeted with a Tommy gun.
Oh, right.
So it's very likely that whatever we encounter there may not necessarily
might not be friendly to us.
May be defensive, possibly a little aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
So
she was great, by the way. Like, she didn't pull the trigger right off the bat.
Yeah, she was really nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause you guys. Feel free to use the Roll20 chat, maybe even if you guys want to decide what you want to do. We're going to jump back over to Songbird and the gang. As Songbird shakes this guy. Well, I don't think. You just speak commandingly, and he goes, I was in Takume, and I was wandering about, and there was a flicker, the corner of my eye, and then I found stairs, and I made my way down the stairs, and Supay was there outside these doors, and he took me in. I couldn't leave. Once I came down the stairs and I tried to leave, I couldn't. I couldn't leave the stairs, but Supay said actually Supay didn't say anything. He spoke to me, but I didn't understand him. But he took me in, and didn't understand anything, and I walked past the rooms and the things there, and he placed this crown on my head, and I fell asleep for a time. I don't remember how long I was just asleep, and then I awoke here, and he kind of points up to the stairs, and you can see like this grand like chair that he would probably to sit in, and it was different, and I could understand Supay at least a little bit. He brought me forth and said to judge these people and these things in the jars. But I didn't understand it. I couldn't do anything. He told me to judge them, but I couldn't I didn't. So I've
What were their crimes?
sat here. He told me that I should, decide what to do with them for intruding, but I mean,
So what did you say?
I didn't say anything. I mean, I didn't want anything to happen to them. I could, I told them, that they should, go free, and that didn't end well. And so.
What didn't end well? What? How? Tell me.
And he kind of points over to the other side of the room. And there you see this like shattered body, like this. Well, at this point, it is like a skeleton that has been rent, and like thrown everywhere. You can see humerus and like just bones absolutely shattered and broken. And I said I told him to let him go, and he opened a jar, and the body started to move, and it was wrong. And Supay said that I was supposed to help, and I didn't understand how. I was supposed to fix the broken thing, and I couldn't. So he kind of turns back over and points at the others. He's like, "But I've saved those ones."
I mean, saved is a strong way to put it, my dude.
Hey, I couldn't let anything, like, I didn't want to hurt anything, hurt anyone. I just had to. So, I mean,
what is your name?
I don't know.
How long have you been here?
I stopped counting.
All right. So I've got mage sight on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to scrutinize it and try and find what this connection that I felt was.
Okay.
And how it's a part of
that
him.
Sounds like a good mystery to scrutinize.
Yeah.
There was more water in my cup than I was expecting. And you're going to do this with Prime, I imagine?
So there are, I feel like I remember there being rules for scrutinizing with more than one.
Yeah, and it's back and forth, and SOS is unclear about, because it's...
Okay, so I want to basically scrutinize with life and Prime and figure out where this like connection is between him and whatever is affecting him, so that I can maybe undo it.
Knowing your purpose, you can just do Prime.
Okay. Three successes.
Okay. This has an opacity of 5, so you may want to declare that you're spending some mana occasionally. I know
that ain't happening.
Okay.
I got 2.
Oh, okay. So 3. Okay.
All right, so that's first level.
Yep.
I'm muted.
Okay. It's down to 3. It's 4 rolls. I got 3 left. Down to 2.
Hey,
exceptional success goes through the rest of it.
That clears it all.
All right. That's what we're looking for.
Yep. And so then
that goes through the last of it.
Review. Cool.
2.
Nice.
So as he's standing here, and as like you get like this tunnel vision glazed over, and just kind of look over him, pushing mana through, and like Logan is like looking over your shoulder, dude. It's like buzz off, kind of thing, and you're able, as you're pushing mana through his pattern and manipulating and stuff like that, he doesn't have a connection to this grimoire, and then his soul doesn't have a connection to the grimoire, and you're trying to figure out what it is, and then you see it written on his bones.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
The
What?
fuck?
Thank you, Craig.
Like, it carved his bones?
Living grimoires.
Yeah, you can't see what it looks like.
I've seen that connection before. You never. I should have, because I saw the connections with the other grimoires were connected. I saw that connection before.
Drew has a drinking problem. Yes, I do.
So you
Well,
could be,
shit.
he's our grimoire.
He's the grimoire.
Well, he slash
His
the
bones are
Well,
the
yeah.
grimoire.
Yep. So we're gonna leave Chris and Songbird over there to deal with that revelation as Logan is going over it, and because I'm sure there's that reaction, and Logan's going, dude, what, dude, what?
He's what we came here for.
Okay, so let's grab him and get out of here. And so we shoved back over to Wyrd and Atratus, which I saw you guys casting some stuff. Premonition. Soul Marks lets you look at a soul. Soulstone counts. Yep. So what are we casting?
I'm casting Divination.
Oh, okay. That's a time one. I remember that.
Yep. So I got 4 potency. I get 4 questions. I spent the reach for the more detailed questions.
Cool. All right. And we're not overreaching. And 5 minus 4, 1, 7. Okay, cool. So you have, your 4 questions?
4 questions.
Okay.
So
Check out these results.
Check out
Google.
these results.
Okay, Google.
Thanks,
Yes.
Google.
So going into the Soulstone, good idea, bad idea.
Give a more precise question.
Is it likely to get us attacked?
Is
by-
it? Yeah. Is it likely to lead to direct conflict? This is time, right? So in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the spell the answer, because man, I love this thing, being able to actually give carefully worded answers instead of just yes, no, or irrelevant. Yes, respectful visitation of this soul would be safe.
is the person this soulstone came from still alive?
No. Well, actually, they never were. And will be.
Right, time fuckery. That's why the books are all empty and the nameplates are blank.
Yeah.
They
Because
will have been born at some
they
point.
will have existed at some point, but right now, right here, they're not.
So respectful. What other questions do we need?
I was gonna say, would they be?
I should have answered. A good question would be no.
Would they be angry with us for going into their soul as opposed to just like touching it and letting them know we're here? Like, which would work better for this person?
Oh, what would be a respectful way to?
To contact them.
Right. So what would be a respectful way of establishing contact before we enter? That might be a little too detailed, but
Well, actually, that one's fairly easy to answer. You cannot contact them.
Okay. So I guess
But but we can contact the soul inside with soul marks or something, right?
I can
Read, but cannot contact.
read the soul.
Oh, okay.
I figured they would know if their soul stone was being screwed with, though. Would you not?
Yes, because you are connected to your soul stone, so it's as if the person was in the room casting the spell on you. So if you could recognize that, then yes.
What is the?
But if someone just grabs your soul stone, they don't automatically
Correct.
just know.
Yeah, there's a merit
Yeah.
for that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the person whose soul is in the stone?
They don't yet have a name.
What name will they have? I'm done my question.
Yeah.
Weaseled out of that one.
Yeah.
Bastard! Okay.
Well, and very specifically, you recognize that cyclical, hang on, this thing is from out of time.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you want
to... should we both go in or should one stay out?
It's probably a better idea to have someone keep lookout.
All right.
But
you have to tell me everything.
I will. I'll tell you everything.
So what are you casting there, Atratus?
I was going to try to hop into the soul.
And what are you casting with that, though? Like, you've got a spell queued up.
That was the soul marks.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I thought we could use that to, like, contact the person, like, let them know that someone was here at their soul stone.
Gotcha. No, soul marks is just an unveiling, being able to see and understand something.
It would need to be something that would physically affect them, right, then, for them to know that they were being cast on.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I will mention, you guys know soul stones, like, persist after somebody dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance there may or may not be a person on the other end.
Right.
Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna go in.
All right, so you roll resolve plus composure. What's meditation?
I'm just gonna sit down at the desk and...
Soulstones, merits, domain.
We're a little off into homebrew territory, by the way, just for the rules people.
Yes. Wait, hang on. What am I homebrewing? Well, which part of my...
I mean, this explicitly by the rules would take like mind 3 to be able to do this sort of thing.
Oh, but we've already done it once.
No, with you can use a soulstone as a astral path into somebody's soul.
To go into your own?
Mm-hmm. Even
somebody else's? It was like...
Mind 3 is to jump from yours to someone else's, I think.
Yep.
But if you have a soulstone, you can...
I mean, there's like merits for this and stuff. But it's fine.
Where is World of Magic? There we go. Fallen Worlds. Purges Maze, Ruins of the Four. Hey, those are useful. Shadow of Astral Realms. Here we go. Am I blind to enter? Yes. Okay, so domain. Yes. Yeah. Resolve plus composure. Yep. Success projects this sorcerer into the Aneros over the exceptional pulls it off. Mage enters their own Aneros unless they make telepathic contact with someone else, in which mutual assent or strongest telepath determines which Aneros she visits. But yeah, so you can roll resolve plus composure.
Two successes.
Cool. So yeah, that takes an hour, during which, as you're starting to meditate, Maeve comes back to you,
hi, sweetie.
Wyrd, and goes, yeah, I can't get through that door.
Okay, no sweat. Thank you very much for trying. I really appreciate it.
Sure. What's she doing? Yeah. And she's knocked out, and I think with a little short of 7:30, but that's fine. We will take a quick break and pause here, guys. So Twitch folks, proceed to freak out and wonder what is going on. And
same to us, really.
Yeah, right. And maybe during the break, come join us on Discord. That's yeet into .space, and that'll take you right over to our Discord, and you can join in. There's a little Twitch spoilers chat that you can join and start throwing episode titles, because that's where Rock's Fall Everyone Dies came from, and Mero Escape. That was not my fault. I will blame that one on MJB. I feel like there's another letter in there, but yeah, so those weren't my fault. Judgment Call was, but yeah, so we're going to take a quick break on Twitch. YouTube guys, we will see you on Friday for the finale. so long as I actually edit these things with quickness.
Done killed your whole weekend
Yeah,
again.
I know. Right?
Done to
So
yourself.
until next time, guys.
Stay lucky.